The Lord's peace be with you today, and may His covering rest over your life and your family, even as you begin this moment of prayer. On this Thursday, June 4th, I want you to know something very gentle yet powerful. God has not forgotten your household. His protection is surrounding your family, your home, your going out and your coming in. And even in this moment, as financial pressure may have tried to weigh heavy on your heart, the Lord is stepping in quietly, faithfully, and powerfully. I feel led to remind you that God's presence is not distant from your finances. He is near to your needs, near to your struggles, and near to every silent worry you've carried about provision. The same God who watches over your family is also watching over your future, your work, your income, and your open doors. So just breathe for a moment, because this is not a rushed encounter. This is a sacred pause in His presence, a moment where heaviness begins to lift and trust begins to rise again in your spirit. And I believe, even as you listen, God is softening what has felt tight, and He is bringing peace where there has been pressure. You are not alone in this journey. Stay with me, because today we are praying for financial freedom and the favor of God to rest upon everything connected to your life. Beloved, there is a holy place where breakthrough begins, and it is the place of surrender. Not surrender as defeat, but surrender as trust. It is the quiet decision to say, Lord, I will not carry what you never asked me to carry. Many times, financial pressure becomes heavy, not only because of lack, but because we try to control what only God can provide for. And in that control, anxiety grows, peace fades, and the heart becomes restless. But today, God is gently calling you back into trust. Not a loud correction, but a loving invitation. He is saying, release it into my hands again. Your bills, your needs, your responsibilities, your concerns about tomorrow. Place them again into the hands that formed the heavens and the earth. Because what you surrender in faith is never lost. It is placed into divine care. There is something powerful that happens when you stop wrestling in your mind and start resting in His presence. The atmosphere around your heart begins to shift. What once felt like pressure begins to feel like prayer. What once felt like panic begins to feel like dependence on a faithful Father. Even now, I sense the Lord reminding you that He has carried you before. Think back. How many times did you worry, yet God still made a way? How many doors you thought would never open, yet they opened at the right time? That same faithfulness has not changed. God is not new to your situation. He has already seen the end from the beginning. So I want you to release the idea that you are alone in providing for yourself. You are not the source. You are a vessel. And the moment you begin to trust the source again, peace returns to your spirit. Provision is not only about money. It is about alignment with the God who provides. And I speak this over you gently. May every burden that is not yours to carry begin to loosen right now. May your shoulders feel lighter in the presence of God. May your thoughts slow down where they have been racing. May your heart settle into the truth that God is faithful even when circumstances are uncertain. Because financial freedom is not only a future reality, it begins in a present surrender. It begins when you say, Lord, I trust you more than I trust what I can see. And as you do that, something shifts spiritually. Worry loses its grip, fear loses its voice, and faith begins to speak again in your life. Now let your heart rest in this truth. God is your provider, not your pressure. He is your source, not your struggle. He is your peace, not your panic. And I feel led to pray over you right now. May every financial burden that has been silently pressing your spirit begin to lift. May the grace of God meet you in your needs. May unexpected help, unexpected favor, and unexpected provision begin to align with your life. not because of struggle, but because of His goodness. You are being carried even now, not by your effort, but by His grace that is sufficient for you. So remain in that place of trust, because God is already working where your eyes cannot see, and preparing what your hands have not yet touched. Beloved, as we continue in this moment of prayer, I want to gently speak over your life, that the favor of God is not distant from your daily work. It is not something reserved only for special moments or extraordinary seasons. God's favor rests in the ordinary places of your life too, in your waking up, in your responsibilities, in your efforts, and even in the things that feel unnoticed by others but are fully seen by Him. There are times when you may feel like your work is not producing enough, or your effort is going unseen, or your hands are laboring but the results feel slow. And in those quiet thoughts, discouragement can try to settle in. But I want you to hear this with peace in your spirit. God is not only watching your results, He is shaping your journey. And sometimes what feels like delay is actually divine positioning, because favor is not always loud. Sometimes favor is subtle. Sometimes favor is God arranging things behind the scenes, aligning people you have not met yet, preparing opportunities you are not aware of yet, and opening doors that no human effort alone could open. You may only see your effort, but God sees your assignment. And where there is assignment, there is also divine covering. So I want you to begin to see your daily work differently. Whether you are working in a job, running a household, studying, building something small, or searching for opportunity, none of it is forgotten in the eyes of God. Every faithful step you take is recorded in His presence. Every effort made with honesty, even when no one claps, is still valuable in heaven's eyes. And I feel a gentle reminder in my spirit for you. Do not despise small beginnings, because God often wraps great favor in small and simple places. The world looks for instant results, but God builds lasting foundations. And what He is building in your life is not temporary. It is not fragile. It is not easily shaken. Even when things feel repetitive, even when your routine feels heavy, even when you wonder if anything is changing, God is still at work. There is divine movement even in silent seasons. There is unseen progress even in waiting seasons. And there is hidden favor even in ordinary days. I want to speak this softly over you. Your work is not in vain. Your efforts are not wasted. Your consistency is not overlooked. Because the favor of God does not only reward outcomes, it honors faithfulness. There are moments when God will begin to shift things in ways you did not expect. A conversation that opens a door. A connection that brings opportunity. A decision made in your favor that you did not influence. This is how divine favor often flows. It moves through pathways you cannot control, only receive. And I sense the Lord encouraging your heart right now. Do not become weary in doing good. Do not lose heart in the process. Because even when people do not notice your value, God is preparing recognition in His timing. And His timing is never late. There is also a grace that God places on your hands when you walk closely with Him. That grace makes your efforts more fruitful than they appear. It adds His strength to your weakness. It adds His wisdom to your decisions. It adds His peace to your stress. And suddenly, what felt difficult begins to feel carried by something greater than you. I pray over you in this moment that confusion in your work be replaced with clarity. That exhaustion be replaced with renewed strength. That frustration be replaced with divine understanding. Because when favor rests upon your life, even challenges begin to serve a greater purpose. You may not always understand why certain doors close, but I want you to trust this truth. God is not closing doors to harm you. He is redirecting you to what aligns with your destiny. And sometimes protection looks like redirection. Sometimes love looks like delay. Sometimes favor looks like silence before breakthrough. And even now, I feel peace over you as you receive this. There is a settling happening in your heart, as if God is reminding you that you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being guided step by step. So let your spirit rest from striving. Let your mind release the pressure of comparison. Let your heart come out of the place of measuring yourself against others. Because the favor of God is not competitive. It is personal. It is intentional. It is perfectly timed for your life. And I speak this gently over you. May your work begin to carry new grace. May what once felt heavy begin to feel lighter. May opportunities begin to find you in unexpected ways. May doors that were once closed begin to shift open at the right time. And may your spirit learn to recognize God's hand even in small blessings. Because He is with you, not just in prayer, but in your everyday life. In your decisions, in your labor, in your waiting, and in your becoming. Beloved, now we come into a deeper place of prayer, where God begins to lift your eyes beyond what you have been struggling with, and gently places them on what He is preparing. There are moments in life when financial pressure feels like a closed room. But I want to tell you with calm assurance, God is not limited by the room you are standing in. He is the one who holds the key, and He is able to open what no one can shut. Even now, I sense the Lord bringing peace to places in your heart that have been tense for a long time. You may have been carrying silent concerns about provision, about stability, about what tomorrow will bring. But the presence of God is reminding you that you are not walking toward uncertainty. You are walking toward His prepared provision. And what He prepares is never lacking. There is a divine shifting happening in the spiritual atmosphere over your life. It may not always be visible immediately, but it is real. God is aligning timing, adjusting paths, and preparing encounters that will change the direction of certain situations in your life. And what feels delayed is not denied. It is being perfected in timing. I want you to understand something very gently today. God does not only give blessings, He also opens doors that lead to long-term stability. Some doors are emotional, bringing peace where there was anxiety. Some doors are relational, bringing the right people into your journey. And some doors are financial, bringing provision in ways you did not expect. But every door He opens carries His wisdom with it. There are moments when you may feel like you are standing in front of closed possibilities. But I want to remind you, in God's presence, no door is permanently sealed when He decides to move. The same God who parted seas, who made a way in the wilderness, is still making ways today. And He is making a way for you even now, in places you cannot yet see. So I speak gently over your spirit. Do not allow fear to interpret your current season. Fear will tell you it is over. Fear will tell you nothing will change. Fear will tell you you are stuck. But the voice of God speaks differently. His voice says, I am working, I am guiding, I am opening, I am providing. And I feel a strong peace in saying this over you. God is restoring financial peace into your life. Not just provision, but peace. Because sometimes people have money but no peace. And sometimes people are in waiting but still have peace. But God is bringing both together in His perfect timing. He is healing the anxiety around your needs. I also sense that God is teaching your heart to trust Him beyond visible evidence. Because true faith is not only believing when you see results, but trusting when things are still unfolding. And even in this process, God is building something strong within you. Resilience, patience, and deeper dependence on Him. There are open doors coming that will not come through stress, but through grace. You will look back and realize that what God did was not forced. It was favor, it was alignment, it was divine timing, and it will carry peace with it, not confusion. I want you to release every thought that says you must figure everything out on your own. You are not walking this journey alone. The Lord is actively involved in your life, even in ways you are not aware of. He is orchestrating details behind the scenes that will eventually come together at the right time. And I speak this over you. May every closed door that is not meant for your destiny remain closed in protection. And may every door that carries purpose, blessing, and provision begin to open in divine timing. May confusion be lifted from your decisions. May clarity come into your next steps. May peace guard your heart as you wait on God. There is also a restoration coming into your financial mindset. Where fear once shaped your thinking, faith will now begin to grow. Where worry once controlled your thoughts, trust will begin to settle. And where uncertainty once spoke loudly, peace will begin to rule quietly but firmly in your spirit. And I feel led to remind you, you are not behind in life. You are not forgotten in your process. You are not overlooked in heaven. God sees your journey clearly, and He is guiding you with precision, even when it feels like you are only taking small steps. So as we come into this place of prayer, I want you to rest in this truth. God is opening doors for you that align with His favor, His timing, and His peace. And what He opens will not only provide for you, but it will sustain you.